Hi everybody, it's Rolex here, and today I am presented you to the game of the year, Diablo 4 Season 4. Well, I mean, that's a lot of people been saying that the game has been so good now, or whatever along those lines. I'm not disappointed. The game is getting way better compared to uh, like 2 or 3 months ago, or even I don't know. I didn't play season three, so maybe it's not that good compared to season three. Maybe it's not that better compared to season three. But from season two that I last played, I think I play only like the first week of season two as well. I think the game is getting much better. All right, there's still problems in the game. The goal problem that people kind of like having, and I also having the goal problem as well. But that's not the problem because I can grind to get the goal, but that's not a problem that I have with the game. And the game is good now, I guess. As you can see, I'm blasting through tier 100 Nightmare Dungeon. That is no longer a challenge because I don't know what they want out of Nightmare Dungeon. Now they've introduced the Gauntlet. I did run a one Gauntlet run. I don't even know like what that is. And I ran a couple of tier 61 and like I don't know, tier 64. I think I ran up to like tier 64 pit, and I was like, what's the point of any of this, right? And then I was just like, well, probably I kind of like get the enjoyment out of everything of Diablo 4, that I feel like I don't have to keep playing. I don't have to keep grinding. It doesn't really have the same motivation that I had when I play, like any other game in the same genre, which is basically just customize your character. Because I still feel the same, that it doesn't really have that like you can't really like the character is not really flexible that much. Like you need like maximum resource for a lot of the character that I play, because I want to have maximum resource, because maximum resource scale your items, your damage and stuff like that. And then you want to have the resource generation, and then you also want to have a little bit of cost reduction, and you have crit damage, you have damage and stuff like that. So basically you can kind of like everything is kind of locked in place, that you don't really have flexible in terms of itemization. I mean, you can change the item, but the item still serves the same purpose. What I mean by that is that if you have a helmet with, like resource generation, basically like, like fury per second for barbarian, then you would want to have a helmet or a chest, a body armor with the same mod to replace that if you want to replace that helmet. Otherwise, you have to fix that problem somehow, right? So it's still a problem, the same problem that I had in season two, but now the item it's much enjoyable, much more enjoyable and satisfying to get, which is the most like the biggest part of why season four has been like really enjoying for me personally. But I don't have the I don't have the moment of like, oh my god, I don't want to play the game anymore, but I still want to play the game because like I can get this gear upgrade, I can do that thing, I can have that upgrade. No, the curve of enjoyment, it's kind of like it's kind of like stay the same for me, and then eventually it dropped to, well, I kind of done with the game, which is better than in season two, or even before that, right? Season one or preseason. I think it is better, right? Because in season two or season one, you would have like maybe you have like two or three affixes as an item, and then you would use that until you get the four affixes, and then the 925 power level, like item level, introduced, and then you try to catch that. You're trying to get the 925 for affixes. Now you get 925, like 925, like automatically. You will get them, and then you're only looking for 2 modifiers, and then you can use occultist to reroll one of the other modifier, and then you're tempering them, which is better because now you have a kind of like semi-control environment to grab your gear, to get your gear. Before that, you basically don't have anything to control that. Even though it's control, it's still RNG. You just still have limited amount of tries, which is good, right? You need a little bit of both. You can't just be like you always win, right? If you get through, like you either win or lose, like the like yes or no question, like in season 2. I don't like that, but I also don't like the way that if you get the item, you always win. That's also not fun for me. I need a little bit of like, it has to have some RNG, some blockage, like this one. This one is good, right? I think the itemization, it's now okay. Now they have to improve somewhere else in the game. The pit, for example, the pit doesn't feel good for me to run. A lot of people saying that the pit is really, really good, or whatever, they enjoy the pit, that like running the pit is fun for them. But I don't feel like there's any RNG in the pit. You run the pit, you know exactly what you're gonna see. You're gonna see 3 elites, and then you're gonna see another 3 elite monsters with a 2 like to reduce damage aura, or whatever that thing is, the purple aura. Every pack has that, and it's so predictable, and you cannot spawn anything other than those monsters. So basically, whenever you run pit, you wasting your time because there's no unpredictability. There's nothing unpredictable. Everything is so predictable in the pit that I cannot run more than 3 pits, like, and then I have to like break it and do something else. I would love to run Nightmare Dungeon and bitching about Nightmare Dungeon than doing the pit. Like, I hate Nightmare Dungeon, right? Because I've been playing the game since since launch, and Nightmare Dungeon was the only thing that I hate. Like, it's I fucking hate it. But I rather run Nightmare Dungeon and bitching about how shit it is than running pit. Because I don't hate pit, but it's so boring, right? Like, it's so boring. Like, there are people who are like, oh well, just run, like tier 130 or whatever, like pit, then you don't get bored because your character can die. That doesn't make any difference. You're still fighting the same 3 elite monsters. So, they have to do something with the pit. Like, pit seems so fucking boring to me. Helltide was a winner. Like, I think Helltide was a winner. Like, when I get bored of the pit, I just run Helltide and I have my enjoyment back up again. Fill my, my stamina back up, and then I can do the pit again, because I need masterworks and stuff like that. But I'm pretty much done with the game now, and yeah, I mean, the game's getting way better than it ever been. So if you want to try it out, if you already had the game, you can jump back in, play a couple hours. I think I played for like 50-60 hours in the past 2 weeks, and it's great, right? If you have the game. If you don't have the game, I recommend just wait for, I don't know, the sales, I guess. Like, I wouldn't recommend you to buy the game at $7. It's still not worth it. Like, I'm sorry, the game's getting much better, but I'm sorry, it's not worth $70. But that's about it, guys, and I hope you enjoy your day. If you're still playing Path of Exile, I hope you enjoy it too. If you're still playing Diablo 4, I hope you enjoy it too. We can love each other's, on the internet. Doesn't matter. Like, you can like something, I can like something, I can hate something, you can hate something. Doesn't matter. We're still people, right? Bye.